Hello viewers, welcome to Mathematics Academy. So in this video, I want to take you through variations. Variation simply tells us how a change in one quantity affects another quantity. For example, how does the change in price affect the quantity that will be bought? So there are four types of variations: the direct variation, inverse variation, the joint variation, and followed by the partial variation. So in this video, we are going to treat all the types of variations. So let's begin with the first one, the direct variation. In direct variation, an increase in one quantity will definitely mean increase in the other quantity, and vice versa. So let's take an example under direct variation. So this is example 1 under direct variation. Now, the symbol for variation is always written like this. So whenever we see the word varies, we replace it with this symbol. Okay, so let's mathematically interpret this. The question says that if y varies directly as x, that means y varies directly as x. So this simply means increase in y means increase in x, and decrease in y means decrease in x. So to remove this variation symbol, we introduce what we call constant of proportionality. That is to say, you can choose any alphabet of your choice, but please don't choose the alphabet that has been given in the question or you have used in the question. So we can say, let k be equal to constant of proportionality. So k is equal to constant of proportionality or constant of variation. Now that I've let k to be our constant, I'm going to replace this variation symbol with equal sign, then introduce k. So that becomes y is equal to kx. So I have replaced this proportionality symbol with equal to k. So the next thing is to find the value of this k from the first part of the question. So the question says that y is equal to 4.5 when s is equal to 12. So we can say that when x is equal to 12, y is equal to 4.5. So I'm going to substitute in this equation. So that means in the place of y, we put 4.5. And this is equal to, in the place of x, we put 12. So this is k times 12. So I want k to stand alone. I'm going to divide both sides by 12. So that becomes that 4.5 is equal to k times 12 divided by 12 divided by 12. So that 12 will cancel out 12. K is equal to 4.5 divided by 12. So I'm going to substitute k is equal to 4.5 over 12 inside this equation. So this becomes, so my formula will now become y is equal to, instead of me to write k, I'll write 4.5x all over 12. So I have replaced the k here with 4.5 over 12. So this becomes 4.5x all over 12. So question B says that we should find y when s is equal to 16. So when x is equal to 16, y is equal to question mark. We don't know what it is. So we'll come back to the question. Formula is y is equal to 4.5x over 12. It becomes that y is equal to 4.5 times x is 16, 16 divided by 12. We can break it down. 4 go here, 3, 4 go here, 4. So that y is equal to 4.5 times 4 divided by 3. Like that, you get that y is equal to 6. So let's now solve question C. So in question C, they say we should find x when y is equal to 2.4. So when y is equal to 2.4, x is equal to question mark. So go back to the formula. The formula is y is equal to 4.5x over 12. So formula, y is equal to 4.5x all over 12. So since y is equal to 2.4, I'll just come to y place and put 2.4 is equal to 4.5x all over 12. So I can say here is over 1. I will now cross multiply so that I can find x. So that if this becomes 4.5x times 1 will give us 4.5x. And this is equal to 12 times 2.4. So that for me to get x, I will divide both sides by 4.5. X is equal to 12 times 2.4 divided by 4.5. So that x is equal to 6.4. So this is a very good example of direct variation. So let's take the second example, which is inverse variation. An inverse variation is otherwise known as indirect variation. So in this case, an increase in one quantity will lead to a decrease in the other quantity, or a decrease in this other quantity will lead to an increase in the other quantity. So let's take an example of problems under inverse variations. So if P is inversely proportional to H, so it simply means that P, the sign of proportionality, but in this case inverse. Inverse means 1 over inversely proportional to H. Now, for us to remove this proportionality symbol, we'll also introduce constant. We can say let K equal constant. So this now means that P is equal to K times 1 over H. Of course, K times 1 is K. So this becomes that P is equal to K over H. Now, but we are told that P is equal to 8 when H is equal to 5. P is equal to 8 when H equal to 5. So this means that because we want to find the value of K, so we can replace it here and find the connection between P and H. So P is equal to 8, put 8 here, 8 is equal to K all over H. H is equal to 5. So I can say over 1, then I will cross multiply. So K times 1 is K. This is equal to 8 times 5 is 40. So that means that the formula or the connection is something as formula relationship will now be P is equal to K. So instead of K, I'll put 40. So this is the formula or the connection between P and H. So question B, when P is equal to 1 over 4, H is equal to, we don't know what it is, so let's find it. So remember the formula is P is equal to 40 over H. So when P is equal to 1 over 4, that means we replace P with 1 over 4. This is equal to 40 over H. So the next thing to do is to cross multiply. So H times 1 is H. This is equal to 4 times 40. 4 times 40. So that will give us a H to 160. So let's take the third type of variation, which is known as joint variation. Joint variation is made up of more than one variation. So either we have more than one direct variation, or more than one inverse variation, or inverse and direct variation joined together. So that is how problems on joint variations appear. So this is a good example of joint variation problem. How do I know? The question says that X varies directly as the product of U and V. That alone has made it a joint variation of two direct variation problem. But not only that, and inversely as their sum. So this is the combination of direct variation and inverse variations. So let's proceed to first of all interpret the question. So the question says that X varies directly as the product of u and v. So product means multiplication. So multiplication of u times v, and inversely as their sum times 1 over u plus v. So to remove this variation symbol, I will say let k equal constant. We can now say rewrite this as x is equal to, I have replaced the variation symbol with equal to, and I will bring in k. Then this is u times v. U times v means uv. Multiplied by 1 over simply means I should write it as over u plus v. Now the question says that x is equal to 3, but x is equal to 3 when u is equal to 3, u is equal to 3, and v is equal to 1. The reason why they gave us this first set of parameters is for us to be able to find the value of k. So let us substitute directly into this equation. X is equal to 3, so this is 3 is equal to k, then u is equal to 3 times 3. Of course, you know that this means k times u times v. So times v is what? 1 divided by u plus v means 3 plus 1. 3 plus 1. So this is something as 3 is equal to 3 times 1 is 3k divided by 3 plus 1 is 4. So the next thing I'm going to do, I can call here over 1, then I will cross multiply. So 3k times 1 will give me 3k is equal to 3 times 4. For k to stand alone, I will divide both sides by 3. So that my k is now equal to 3 times 4 divided by 3. So that k is equal to, of course, 3 can cancel out 3. K is equal to 4. In this question, if you observe, they did not tell us to find the formula first, the relationship, the connection. But you must do that to be able to solve the second part of the problem. So therefore, our formula becomes x is equal to, my k is now 4 uv divided by u plus v, u plus v. This is formula we are going to use to solve the second part of the problem. When u is equal to 3 and v is equal to 3, then remember our formula. Our formula is x is equal to 4uv divided by u plus v, So let's substitute accordingly. So x is now equal to 4, u is what? Times 3, v is what? Times 3, everything divided by u plus v, that is 3 plus 3. So that my x is equal to 36 divided by 6. So that x is equal to 6. So let's consider the partial variations. Alright, so this is a very good question on partial variation. So in the case of partial variation, you will always hear the word partly varies. For me, I call partial variation addition of variations. So in the case of partial variation, we are going to have two different constants. So you can choose two different alphabets to represent the two different constants. Once you hear the word partly, just know we are dealing with partial variations, and you must have two different constants. The question says that x is partly constant and partly varies as y. That means you can say now, let a and b be constants. That's how to solve partial variations. There must be two constants. Okay, so the question said that x is partly constant. X as a quantity is first constant. So we just go ahead and say that x is equal to a. Remember, there is no need of bringing in the variation sign again. because the question says that it is constant. Just represent it directly. X is equal to your first constant A, because the question says that X is partly constant. Then plus, the question says, and partly varies as Y. So Y is a variable in this case. To bring in Y, we bring it in with the next constant, that is by. This is how X is connected to the constants and to Y. So the next thing, they say that when Y is equal to 3, Y is equal to 3, that X is equal to 11. X is equal to 11. So let's substitute Y and X in this very equation. We have it to be that, so X is equal to 11, so it becomes that 11 is equal to A plus, I will replace the Y with 3, and it becomes 3B. This is going to be our first equation because it's going to lead us to simultaneous equation. So when Y is equal to 4, and when Y is equal to 4, X is equal to 14. X is equal to 14. So this will also mean, putting it back here, X is what? 14 is equal to A is A plus Y is what? 4. So I'm going to write 4B. 4B. This is going to represent our equation 2. So since I have equation 1 and equation 2, I'm going to solve the two equations simultaneously. So writing out my equations, so this implies 11 is equal to A plus 3B. So this is our equation 1. And equation 2 is 14 is equal to A plus 4B. So this is my equation 2. One easiest method of solving simultaneous equation, I suppose, is the elimination method. So in the elimination method, we just make sure that the coefficient of one of the variables are the same, and then we solve for the other. So if you're not too familiar with elimination method, do well to watch my video on solving simultaneous equation using elimination method. The link to the video is in the description box below. So by elimination method, since this A and this A have the same coefficient 1, 1, so we can easily eliminate them. So I'll be saying equation 2 minus equation 1. Of course, if you do equation 1 minus equation 2, you are going to get the same answer. So I'm going to be doing equation 2 minus equation 1. So let's go. So that means 14 minus 11 will give us 3 is equal to A minus A, 0. So it's gone. I'm not going to write it. Next is 4B minus 3B will give us B. So I have gotten B to be equal to 3. So I have to be substituting for B in equation 1 or equation 2. So I can come here and say, putting B equal to 3 in equation 1 is equal to 11A plus 3B. So when B is equal to 3, so this becomes 11 equal to A plus 3 bracket 3. This becomes 11 is equal to A plus 9, because 3 times 3 is 9. So the next thing to do is to collect like terms. So this is plus 9. It comes out, it becomes minus 9. So this becomes 11 minus 9 equal to A. 2 is equal to A. So therefore, the formula or the relationship is now going to be X is equal to, instead of me to write A, my A is equal to 2. I'll write 2 plus BY. Instead of me to write B now, but B is equal to 3, I'll write 3Y. So this is the formula or the relationship between X and Y. So for question B, so when Y is equal to 10, then X is what we don't know. So remember, the formula is X is equal to 2 plus 3Y. 2 plus 3Y. So y is equals to 10. So this implies now that x is equal to 2 plus 3 brackets 10. So that x is equal to 2 plus 3 times 10 is 30. So that x is equal to 2 plus 30 will give us 32. And this is our final answer. If you have been following from the beginning of this video up till now, it means that you should be able to solve problems under variations. So thank you so much for watching. If this is your first time on this channel, don't forget to hit the subscription button, like this video, and share with your friends that will be needing it. So thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.